morning, everybody. I'm really sorry we had a little bit of technical difficulty, but I think we're going to talk about that a little bit as well on this interview. So the universe has finally allowed this meeting to happen, and almost didn't this evening. But I have a guest that I really want to share with you because she's a really special person. Last year, we did a very little bit of work together, but I got to know of her work and I was just super impressed, not only with her incredible voice, but also with her wealth of talent, knowledge, and breadth of skills in energy medicine. So apparently that gorgeous voice has been there for a very long time. Eeshi-Ra kind of had a spark of passion for singing all of her life. And now I can understand why. I wouldn't mind listening to myself if I sang as beautifully as she does. She's a beautiful voice. After moving to England in the 80s, she was kind of on her own healing journey and actually worked with the likes of Jonathan Goldman. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's very prominent in the field. So she asked a question to the universe. You know, if there were special frequencies, tones, sounds that can be given in, you know, what are these sounds to help the human body rebalance and ultimately awaken to our utmost potential of love and divinity. And they're called RA codes. They're mathematical codes, which everything in the universe is mathematical, but they're identified as codes of nature and in the human body. And then she started to work with the world-renowned Randy Masters, who is also a master of sound. So two very important mentors have helped shape her work. But she's also qualified in many different types of body work. In body, I have to read this, biodynamic trauma release breath work, so special breath work, special body work, and she has created a series of the most beautiful sound healing and videos for anything that you need today to sort of amp up your self-care routine and really just kind of keep you in that love and not fear mode, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Ultimately, in 2009, Eeshi-Ra opened the UNI-PHI sound, which is now Sonic Life Solutions, and that's where you'll find at eeshiraheart.net. And don't worry, I'm going to give you that link after we speak tonight. But also, not only has she been taught by the best, but she's a teacher herself, and she's spoken at some of the most prestigious conferences, including the Globe Sound and Consciousness Conference in San Francisco, but all the way to Turkey and England and beyond. So I'm really excited to just start speaking tonight with Ms. Eeshi-Ra Hart. Thank you so much. We finally made it.
Hey, we finally made it. Sandra, thank you so much. Yeah, great. Despite me getting locked out of Facebook this morning or evening where you are, wherever you're viewing, we have made it. And yeah, increasingly we are in turbulent times.
We certainly are.
Yeah, and really needing what I love, you know, biohacks, those ways in which we can access power within ourselves. And I'm all about that. And it really makes me excited when I feel like we are on this journey of awakening, on this journey of reconnection with ourselves, reconnection with the earth. And yeah, sound is such an amazing tool for us because most of us are walking around. If we can talk, we can sing, we can sound. Most of us have a voice box. In fact, pretty much all of us do, unless we're mute. And we can do so much with that.
So much. I mean,
yeah.
You know, obviously we were so divinely designed to be able to produce our own healing. And the reason why I think the two of us have been sort of, I think that just globally, this whole elevated level of consciousness, and people are struggling with that more than ever, I think. I mean, we are really just at a crux, and it's almost like, you know, hurry up and get on the boat or you're going to be lost kind of mentality. You're going to be lost in a sea of fear. There is so much to be worried about, yet there's so much opportunity in what's going on right now. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it just seems to be continually, ever increasingly obvious that we are being challenged to make a choice. And, you know, it's either fear or it's love. It's either worry and stress or it's trust and just relaxing. It's either up in our heads or it's down in our bellies, down connected to the earth. And, you know, we have different sound healing frequencies from, you know, my years of research. You know, I started working with sound in 2001. You know, we have so many frequencies available to us now that we can use in tuning forks, you know, ones to ground, clear and ground and tune us in with the cosmos. Or we have ones which are really tuning us into our divine self, or solar self. And this is a great reset for the pineal, for the reptilian brain, which is at the back of the head. And other ones which tune us into the Schumann, which is broadcasting above us, the yang. And then we've got the geomagnetic, which is coming below, coming from within the earth. So lots of opportunities to help us get in tune.
And really, I've only been working with tuning forks a very short time, but I have to say, when you had mentioned, you know, the pineal gland and just putting them in different areas, you know, I know that a lot of people do understand this, but many people don't understand exactly how electric our bodies are and how important it is to increase the coherence of the energy that runs through our body. And emotions are incoherent energy. So it would make so much sense, and it does, that sound would be an answer. These frequencies that can alter ours. I mean, obviously people are up in arms about 5G with good reason. It's such an erratic current and very disruptive. But these tools that you bring, they can actually bring balance back to the body, right?
Absolutely. And even if you don't have the funds, I mean, a tuning fork doesn't have to cost much, even if you just got 111 hertz, you know, fork, which you can get from me if you're interested, comes with a free ebook. You can still work with your voice. And if we think about our lives, you know, what is the main challenge? It is our emotional state, and which then feeds into our mental state, or vice versa. So even if you didn't choose to get a fork, you can still use your voice to help you clear and ground. And, you know, we have to remember that the power is from within first, you know. And the Sufi mystic Hazrat Inayat Khan, he wrote an amazing book at the turn of last century. And he talks about humans, and we basically have two possibilities. We are either tuned in by our surroundings, which means we are affected by input from outside, you know, any kind of, oh, you can't do it, any kind of negative programming, you know, or stress, or other people pushing on our energy, or people trying to dump their energy on us. Or we are tuned in, we can tune ourselves in spite of our surroundings. And this is the, you know, the piece that I'm interested in, you know, because not everyone's going to be able to get to have a session with me, because, you know, I'm not going to be traveling everywhere in every moment. And, you know, for any sound practitioner, you know, that's available, not everyone can get to a sound practitioner, but you do have a sound practitioner sitting here with the voice, you know, which you can use, and you can do amazing things with it. I call it laser technology under the bonnet. So, you know, under the hood, if you're watching this in the States, you know, because we can very quickly shift our state. And if we tune in with our body, we can absolutely find out where that energy needs to shift and what needs to happen. And it's, you know, that reconnection, like when we were talking about, when you just mentioned about the Ra codes, you know, these codes of nature, they are present in nature, but they're also present in us. You know, we have these proportions in the body, you know, of the bones, which goes right down to the DNA. and it's in the facial proportions. Da Vinci was famous for that with the Mona Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And if we give those codes to the body in sound, which is what the solfeggio is, and the wide number set is zobe, this starts to key into the prime numbers of the universe. And you may not think, you know, for anyone watching, that the universe is based on math, but it actually is.
It is.
You know, prime numbers, they move through everything. And they are actually the producers of our reality. So what I love about sound is if we give to the body that mathematical structure, or constant, if you like, in sound, converted into sound, given back to the body, I call it like a reboot button, you know?
I would have to agree. And you know, we've all been taught in school about these numbers and how numbers dominate everything. And we never think about it as a society. It's never really taught in school to the extent that we're talking about it here. I mean, we just know that, you know, yeah, everything is numbers. And, you know, if you're a math person, you get involved in that and you love that and you're fascinated by it. But the average person goes on to never remember that. And so I think that I love the fact that this brings everything back to such a basic knowledge that health, wellness, well-being, it's so much simpler than we make it. However, those frequencies of fear, of anger, of rage, of competition, those are such a low frequency. And then when you feel love, or you're listening to something like the Schumann resonance, which is like the heartbeat of the earth,
yeah,
you just have this remembering that's almost cellular. You just relax. I put sound, you know, through my tissues and through my fascia, and
great.
in a matter of one session, the shoulders that have been up here for decades, they just, boom, they just relaxed. And I thought, no, this has been going on forever. Something, maybe it's a fluke. Oh no, it wasn't a fluke. And the pain in my neck, I've had pain in my shoulder, pain in my back, it is gone. And I can't say sound did it all, but it did most of it. And then the second thing I worked with, Eeshi-Ra, was feeling love and loving my body and blessing my energy centers, and just that gratitude. That's a frequency, and it all just ties in together. And I know that we were talking about how to move from fear to love. So let's talk about your take on that.
Yeah, great. And it's really, you know, it's really about moving from lies to truth. It's like, if we think about fear, what is it based on? It's based on the fact, oh, I'm not loved, or I'm disconnected, or I can't have what I want, or I'm not supported. No one's here for me. These are all kind of core limiting beliefs we might hold, and they may be sitting on a subconscious level, versus the truth. You know, I'm fully loved in every moment. You know, everyone is here for me. I can always get what I need. I am connected ultimately to God, a divine higher power, creator, call it what you want, or just call it love. So if we know that we are essentially reclaiming that truth, then we can really examine fear and just go, okay, this is actually not who I am, you know. And so what I love about, you know, making these choices, it's not that, oh, I'm just being positive thinking. No, I'm actually claiming that this is my truth. And we have to, it's like drawing, you know, for me, I love the analogy of drawing a line in the sand. And, you know, one side is fear. And it's what we know, it's what we may have been taught by our parents because of their limiting thoughts. It may be what we were taught by teachers, or bullied at school, or then taught by co-workers, you know, or partners, you know, anyone in our external environment. And, you know, so are we choosing to agree with them, you know, and how does that make us feel? Or how do we choose for that to make us feel, you know? So if we flip it, and we go, oh no, that's not who I am, you know, because the reality is it's not, you know, we are not our thoughts. And, you know, I trained as a rebirther, and, you know, I studied the Course in Miracles, which is all about going into our inner dialogue and, you know, dissecting it and basically resetting it, you know, with the Christ mind, which has got nothing to do with Christianity, but everything to do with just loving thoughts, you know, about ourselves.
Yeah.
So fear to love, lies to truth, then we can go, you know, really find that fork in the road. And it's so important now. We are getting ever increasing stories on the news. And there are so many different things that are happening globally right now, which are trying, and I use the word trying, to get us to stay in a fear vibration.
Absolutely.
Yeah? And we have to.
I know you and I are both passionate about things environmentally, like, you know, chemicals and things like that. And you and I briefly spoke about the pineal gland and how susceptible, and how that, first of all, it's a very important gland. It is the gland of awakening. That is like your gateway to everything you want. And so we take care of our thyroid, or hopefully we do. I mean, that's an important gland as well. And fluoride is also detrimental to that gland, but it's very damaging to the pineal gland.
Yeah. So the pineal gland, after the kidneys, it's the second, you know, the second part of the body which has the biggest flow of blood through it. So we have to be super careful what we put in our bodies. So when we're talking about detoxing the fluoride from the body, what you may not realize, you know, from watching this and understanding, what they do in the mainstream world is they take off the first part of that word and they call it fluoride. So, but we've got two forms of fluoride. We've got sodium fluoride, or sodium monofluorophosphate, and we've got calcium fluoride. Now, calcium fluoride is great for the teeth. It's really, really very helpful for any kind of strengthening of the teeth. And of course, we know calcium's great for bone. But that's not what's put in toothpaste. That's not what's in fluoridated water. That's not what's in a lot of medication. And sodium monofluorophosphate, if you looked at ads for rat poison, you know, about 100 years ago, you'll see that, you know, on the label it says sodium fluoride. So, and this is not to frighten anyone. It's simply to inform you that this is not a helpful chemical. It's a byproduct of the aluminium smelting industry and the phosphate fertilizer industry. And its effect is to dampen the functioning of your brain, which then makes it far more easy for you to be swayed in different ways. So it's really important to ditch any kind of mainstream toothpaste you got. I'm not going to name brands, but you just have to go on the ingredients.
There are natural brands that you can purchase without additional fluoride. And that pineal gland, they call it calcification in a sense, right? So when that's calcified, it can't open. So there are probably people who are trying to awaken, and there's a blockage and they're not quite sure maybe what it is.
Yeah, so even you can go into certain stores which are supposedly health stores, and they are actually selling fluoride toothpaste which has got that in. So, and supposed to be natural fluoride. So really check the label. You don't want sodium monofluorophosphate. Okay, so calcification also is caused by other things. So we have to look at refined fats. So that's your cheap oils. Refined sugar. So that's your white sugar. Refined flour. So that's your white flour. And you think about biscuits, cookies in the States, waffles, cereals, bread, pancakes, you know, all these different things that we may eat or like to eat. These all are also producing calcification. You've got mercury from fillings. We have, you know, fillings when you are, like, I've had all my fillings taken out, but I didn't get the right suction, and I didn't get a dentist to
I'm in the
so
process now. I just found the new dentist, so that's coming up the rest of
and I
the
got
year.
overloaded with mercury in my system for 2 years, and I had to do a detox on that. And still that wasn't enough, actually. I've more recently found that I didn't fully clear it out. So we've got mercury, we've got pesticides. So if you're not eating organic already, really, really start eating organic. Your body will get so much more healthy. I don't get sick like a lot of my friends do. And I noticed, you know, that's also from being plant-based. You've also got carbonated drinks, and you can go online and look. So you've got all of these different impacts on the body. Personal care products, medications, a lot of them control us, through the inclusion of fluoride.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to avoid more input, and then you've got to decalcify. Well, there's lots of things we can do for decalcifying. Vitamin K1. You've got good old jamu. This is curcumin. This is turmeric juice.
Okay, yeah.
Which I have every day. Make sure you have the black pepper added, because it increases the
absolutely right, for absorption. Yeah,
by 2000%. And then we have many other different ways. And let me just see, I did a bit of a refresher on my mind here.
Well, that's while you're looking for that, here's some information I just wanted to share that I found out this week that I think is fascinating. So apparently we have what's called pinealocytes. And just like the rods and cones in our eye, there are rods and cones in the pineal gland. And what do they call it? The third eye. So when people hear the third eye and they think it's some mystical kind of crazy thing, your pineal gland was made with rods and cones. It is your third eye. It is the gateway to above. So I just thought that was really interesting. And
that's fascinating. Yeah, I mean, these things aren't by chance. Once we start to look and examine things which have been there in plain view for ages, you know, for years, millennia, then it's really good to suddenly go, oh, that's actually what it says it is.
It is. So that was very interesting. I had not heard that. And also that, you know, my big word these days is piezoelectric. Everything is piezoelectric. But I mean, when you talk about tuning forks, right? That is the method of which they're moving through the tissue, is because the tissue is piezoelectric, which just means that it has flow and current.
Absolutely. So other things to detox, I just want to come back to that.
Yes.
MSM, which is a great form of sulfur, raw cacao. No wonder we all like chocolate. This actually stimulates the pineal as well. Raw apple cider vinegar, citric acid, and you can actually do a detox for 3 weeks, 7 lemons a day. Garlic, oregano oil, neem, boron, which is in beets, or borax. You can do 1/4 teaspoon of sodium borate, which is food grade, or borax, to 1 liter of water. Add a pinch of salt. We've got iodine, tamarind, distilled water, liver cleanse, sauna, sleep in darkness. So I want to really talk about this, because the pineal gland it's a producer of melatonin. And if we look at people today, you know, a lot of people, you know, friends I talk to, they're not sleeping well. Now that's, you know, a couple of reasons. We are surrounded by EMF radiation, and the body, it's really interesting. The brain actually at night, it wants to produce melatonin. That's its natural hormone to reset, and it keeps us in our natural sleep-wake cycle, you know, which is also connected to the Schumann, which is why the Schumann is really important as a frequency. And if people aren't turning off their Wi-Fi, and they're not turning off their phone, or they've got it by their bed, or they've got a cordless phone in their bedroom, or even if they've got a cordless phone in their house, this is broadcasting EMF 24/7. We need to turn off our Wi-Fi, and we need to turn off our phone, have it no closer than 6 feet away from our bed, ideally in another room,
Yes.
turned off charging, or at least on airplane mode. And Wi-Fi definitely turned off. But we also have the added effect of neighbors above us, neighbors below us, neighbors next door. They haven't turned off their Wi-Fi. Personally, I'm going around to my neighbors and giving them, you know, a little timer, which costs like $10. It's like, could we agree on, you know, like turning off your Wi-Fi at night? Would that be
wow,
okay?
that's great. My neighbors would look at me like I'm crazy. They're, you know, they're older people, and they probably wouldn't even understand why I was asking. So, but
Right,
that's a
but
great
the thing is,
idea.
you're helping them as well, you know, so
For
you're buying
sure.
it for them. They haven't even got to pay for it. And it means that they suddenly might go, oh yeah, well, Johnny's not been sleeping well, and oh my,
Yeah, and they're
you know, my
sleeping
husband
better.
Cedric
For
Grace have been
sure.
having, you know, so it can be really worth having that conversation, and then you get to know your neighbors better, hopefully. So those kind of things are really important. And if we understand that there's a knock-on effect of that as well, you know, 3 a.m. This Wi-Fi is affecting the body's natural ability to go into REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement. So people aren't dreaming. And if people aren't dreaming, they aren't having a chance to process their day. So 111, amazing for resetting. So this is a frequency which is actually the main firing frequency of the Purkinje cells of the cerebellum, which is actually the reptilian brain. And if we think about the reptilian brain, it's flight, or freeze, isn't it? And so if we want to do a reset, you know, when I was asking the universe, please show me these frequencies, there must be one frequency or a set of frequencies that can reset us. We can either use pairs of solfeggio forks going up through 12 pairs to produce 18 frequencies, or that difference tone in the pair is 111 hertz, you know. And
that's what's kind of in the middle.
In the middle, yeah. So if we look at the first code, we've got 147 hertz, and the next one, which is a pair to it, is the 258, and the difference is 111. Yeah. And so that 111 is amazing for the pineal. I actually have a tuning fork course which is doing 2 pineal activations using the pairs to activate the pineal. Because what is the pineal as well? It's our receptor for light for the body. It's our connection to source. So having this activated, having this open, having this receiving information from the universe, guidance, deepening our intuition, this is all super important. 111 is also unique because what it's doing is it's causing a shift into the right hemisphere of the brain. Why is that important? Well, most of us are a neurological brain. We are thinking logically, we're thinking rationally, but we're not necessarily engaging the intuitive side, you know, which is big picture. It's problem solving. It's really, you know, the feminine part, which needs, and we need both, you know, we can't be just in one side, we need to be in both. And what this does, this is UCLA research, Dr. Ian Cook from 2008, you know, by causing a temporary shift into the right, it is bringing balance back. We also have brain switching happening, which is from people using technology. Everyone who's watching, get your fingers and start massaging your eyebrows. And we're going to do this for 20 seconds. In fact, I should have done this right at the beginning. And you're just going to massage, picking up the fascia of the eyebrow, and you're just going to reach out to the edge of the eyebrow. And if you close your eyes, just notice what happens in your body. You might find your breathing deepens, or, you know, I find my belly relaxes when I do this. And then we're also going to do this with the ears, starting at the top, the Shen Men, which is an amazing acupuncture point for so many different protocols for relaxing the body, and then massaging along the edge of the earlobe. And if you keep your eyes closed, you should notice there's a shift out of your head into your body. And for most of us, we don't even realize from technology what it is doing to our brain, to our body, and how it shifts us out of feeling in our body in our heart, in our connection to the earth. And so we eat well, we drink well, you know.
I'll tell you what I love, and that what I've been doing when we talked about that fight or flight response is just a little vocalization to sort of relax that vagal tone. Like
Yes.
just get really throaty for a few minutes or I'll take a deep breath and let it out with a, you know, and a couple of those, and you can just feel all the tension go away. Take a nice deep breath and, you know, get back to work. Like if the phone's ringing and you're doing 5 things at once. So, you know, really simple solutions, but some of them are very powerful. Now, you mentioned the 111 hertz, and you have courses. So you teach people how to use these forks on their body, right?
Yeah. So I have, right now I have an intro to tuning forks, which does a practice, shares in their practice, shares about the research of tuning forks, how they started, how to use them, and how to use 111. And it's so important right now. I've also got the solfeggio, which is a practitioner course. So if you want to become a practitioner and you want to learn how to not only benefit yourself, but share these vibrations with others, these are frequencies for our awakening right now. So they are so important. You know, even if you didn't want to become a practitioner, you can get a tuning fork audio called the Unity Codes off my website, which is, you know, going up through those pairs, and it's a very small investment, and you can have it. It's like your own personal sound healing practitioner.
Yeah, I listened to a few. There are demos on the website as well.
Yeah.
With sound healing that you can listen to. I think I spent 25 minutes one day just listening to the different demos, and there's so much that I wasn't sure what I wanted to pick. So there's a lot of, I mean, 33 plus years of doing things like this. Eeshi-Ra is such a valuable resource. And Eeshi-Ra, I have a lot of health coaches in my circle of influence. And I'm really trying to say to health coaches, look, we are not going to get where we want to get in our aim to help people be the best they can if we don't embrace what really is the healing, the secret. It's the secret to what we haven't had in the past. I mean, yes, supplements can be beneficial. Essential oils can be very beneficial. Diet can be beneficial, but we're missing a huge piece. And it's not woo-woo, and it's not scary, and it's not, it's just part of who we are. It's almost like somebody needs to rewrite the manual of how to take care of a human being, because we have so much available to us. Like you said, something as simple as vocalizing your own voice can relax you. So I know the 111 hertz was really one that you're passionate about. And if you have any more to share on that, I know that you did also want to spend some time doing something for the pineal gland, a meditation or something to help people with an opening of the pineal gland. And I think this is such a great topic and most appreciated. But anything else you want to share prior to that?
Yeah, so you mentioned supplementation. It's important to know that unnatural forms of calcium, dicalcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, and calcium phosphate, these are present in supplements. These actually calcify from, the word calcification is calcium, it's causing a calcium deposit. So we want to avoid those actually. And it's really interesting because I was doing that research. I was like, oh, really? I'm taking a calcium supplement right now.
Calcium I've heard is okay, but I still am terrified to take a calcium supplement, and then you have to be careful, because if you're drinking a lot of soda, certain foods you eat can, if it's an acid food, your body's going to want to pull minerals into your bloodstream. And that not only is calcifying arteries and kidneys and whatever, but it's also calcifying that pineal gland, which is so important. It's very important to keep the health of that gland up. That is a major gland in your body. and should
Yeah.
get more credit
Yeah.
than it has.
Absolutely. And if we think about, you know, we may detox our liver, or we may, you know, do some colonics, but a lot of people aren't necessarily focusing on this. And yet that is our connection to the divine. And that is going to be a super highway once it's activated to help us, you know, get the next steps for our path, you know, so that we are staying on our path and we are not diverted or distracted by other things outside us which are asking us to, you know, get into a place of stress. So yes, the voice, I love that, you know, you talk about that vocalizing and, you know, letting it out, because that is something we're having to rewire ourselves about, you know, being expressive, expressing our stress, not dumping it on someone else, but just healthily dealing with it, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm here in Bali, and I like to do that on the bike. You can do it, you know, internally as well. You can just, like, if we throw out the rule book here and we go, okay, things which aren't allowed, you know, like, it's not really appropriate for me to get angry with anyone, you know, certainly if I'm completely in a rage about something, you know. But if I go, okay, let's be honest, I'm feeling, you know, if I'm feeling having a stressful day and something is frustrating me, if I can just sit in that place of, yeah, this is what's going on. And if I then, rather than just kind of skip over it and go, oh, that's fine, you know, I'll deal with it, you know, but it gets parked, or, you know, it doesn't get admitted to in the sense of dealing with it, you know, then, you know, over time, if we keep doing that, you know, that's how we get sick. So, you know, doing the vocalizing is great. And, you know, I do this thing on the bike where I just, you know, I sound like a cat having a freak out, you know. Yeah.
I was just picturing that.
Yeah, you know, but I'm doing it internally. So if someone's looking at me, unless they've got their ear up close to me, they can't even notice what I'm doing. But I'm just going, body, I'm just going to deal with this stress. And what I do is I call it the scratch. I'm going into that vibration of dissonance. So if I, you know, use my voice, literally like tuning a guitar, and down, 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 you know, I'm going into that kind of dissonance, you know. And what I do is I keep the mouth closed and I just, you know, and if you're not close to me, you can't even hear it. But what it's doing is it's just going, oh, you know, just rewiring that dissonance back to harmony. And, you know, if you just go, yeah, this is going on for me, and you're completely honest, body goes like, oh, hello, thank you. You know, I have a moment just to go, yeah, I'm feeling this.
I think that's why the F word is so powerful, because it has a at the end of it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You just feel so much better after you say it. But I think that's, you know, that's the energy. It allows you to release energy in the form of stress, or stress in the form of energy, and you literally lighten up when you can do that. So finding a way verbally to release your stress is absolutely wonderful. I mean, if it's your own voice, then even better, you know.
Yes,
no one else
and
can
you
hear
know, yeah, my work is all about breath, sound, and movement. So, you know, most of us, when we get stressed, we're only in this part of the, you know, the body, upper body breathing. And, you know, we clench here, we shallow breathe. There's not much going on in the belly, which is why, you know, I've trained in rebirthing, trained in biodynamic breathwork, done Kriyas, done Kundalini yoga. All of these, if we can increase that entry channel for fresh energy, and then release the other, you know, where we're not holding here, we're not limiting here, then that stressed energy, that, you know, contracted energy has got an exit route, you know. Otherwise it's just builds up, you know. So breath, and then sound, using our voice, you know, just being honest and just go, you know, letting it out, letting the body open. And then movement, you know, what is the movement? It's like, you know, we are keyboard warriors sitting on our computer, you know, typing away, up in our heads, getting stressed, energy builds here. But if we get off the, away from our computer, and we move our body, like I was doing it yesterday. I'm creating, or it's almost ready to go, something called Shift It, which is how to shift your energy using the voice. And when people talk about raising your vibration, they talk about it by visualizing or using the mind, and not really moving the body.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hang on, we got if we want to raise our vibration, we have to move our body, right? Because we have to embody it, otherwise how can we raise our vibration?
Right, because energy should be in flow. So when the body's in flow, the energy's in flow.
Exactly.
I mean, that just makes perfect sense. And people who dance will tell you they feel amazing. They feel like they're flying, and it's the greatest joy ever.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense that if we flow, then our bodies are supposed to be moving.
Right. And what I also love is, this is something intuitively I've created over the years to create something, what I call body sonics, which is healing the body with the voice. Our bodies are super intelligent, and they are always trying to heal us. They are always giving us messages like, over here, I've got a bit of pain. What is pain? Pain is just stuck energy.
Yeah, it sure is.
We can either use 111, which is an amazing frequency. You can get out of pain in about 10 minutes if you've got a headache, you've got bellyache, you've got menstrual cramps or whatever. But we can also use the voice, and we can also move that energy just by listening to the body, because the body's like, it's trying to say, it's knocking on our door and going, hang on, you need to listen to something here. You need to do something differently. Something's not working. And most of us kind of, take a pill. I got to get back to work. I haven't got time now. And it's like, well, you keep doing that. We get sick over time, and and then we have to work our way back to, a healthy place. And like all that time we've lost, all that bad sleep we've lost.
It's so much easier to be in an elevated place. And if you get a little knockback, you just correct it immediately and you get right back. But if you let yourself get back and back, I mean, that's a long journey, and that takes a lot of, takes a lot of work. You've got to work at that.
Yes. And the quality of our life is dictated by the quality of our choices, or as I like to say, the quality of our breath. How much fresh life, how much love do I choose to bring into my life, and how much fear do I choose to release? It's like, do I choose it? What do I choose? So we're really at that part, like the indigenous cultures talk about this, which wolf do I feed? The wolf which is angry, which has got hatred, which is jealousy, which is fighting amongst others. It's like people are trying to divide us amongst ourselves, but if we simply come together and we simply, keep, a clean house, it's like cleaning out those lies, cleaning out that negativity every day, just going, nah, I'm done with this. I'm not going to entertain it, and it doesn't feel good in my body, so I'm not going to hold this anymore. But we have to strongly claim that the truth is who we are. We are love. We are surrounded by love in every moment, and it's only the mind that has a control of us perceiving a reality that is completely different to that.
It's funny how if you focus, it's funny that you mentioned, it's not seeing this or picturing this. And I taught a workshop over the weekend, and part of that incorporates some of the work of Joe Dispenza, who I love. And it kind of incorporates the work of a lot of people. And then there's Christy Marie Sheldon, who always says love or above. And so I had put up a paper with, on the low level happiness, moderate happiness, and kind of the elation words. And I made everybody pick one from each category.
Right.
So, because to send somebody home from a workshop and say, your whole life will get better if you could just be happy all the time, they think I'm crazy. But it's so very true that when you start to just say, I'm going to choose to feel what it's like for this, or I'm going to choose what it feels like to have everything I want. If I woke
Yeah.
up and I had it, this is what I feel like. And when I woke up, so to speak, I had thrown my back out, and it was 2 weeks ago. I mean, literally, I was like a cheese curl. The pain was horrible, and I thought, right hip of chronic overdoing, and I was overdoing
Right.
and overdoing, and I knew what it was. I knew
Yes.
that that pain wasn't that I hurt something. That pain was trying to say, hey, you haven't taken time for yourself in
Mm.
2 weeks, in a little bit. It's not enough. And I knew it. And so what I did was I did a fork session on my body. I put the fork on
Right.
my acupressure points, and, kidney one at the bottom of my foot, it was trying to run all this beautiful current. And then I blessed my energy centers. And when I woke up, the pain was about 80% gone. The next day it was non-existent.
Awesome. Yeah.
Non-existent.
Yeah, because sound, that's why I love sound. It's like I've been singing for, since 1986 as a professional singer. And once I discovered sound, like, in the 90s, I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing, because it's specific frequency, which can do specific things. It can move energy. It's like, well, why would I not choose that? For me, I'm Aries, and I see humanity, and looking around, so many people aren't very well. We are, increasingly in different levels of stress or disease, or, dying, or, just not happy in their life, and so sound is so beautiful because it can shift our state. And, what's important about the voice as well is that when we consciously use it, we can go in and we can shift what is held. Because the thing with The Secret, the thing with a lot of these different things which have been out there, Joseph Spencer, Abraham Hicks, all of these, they're still doing it through the mind, and they are missing a vital piece, and this is what Joe Vitale talked about, because I studied The Missing Secret.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's still not, there's still not, I feel like I've taken it to the next level, because I got results, but I still didn't get like right in nitty gritty. It's like right at the core, bottom piece. It's like, how can I shift that? The voice taps into the subconscious, and the vagus nerve, it actually has two branches,
Right.
in this part of the throat. So as I sound, and I can also direct the sound into different parts of my body as I tune in, like, where is that negative thought held?
Mm-hmm.
That sound travels all the way to all the organs. So why would we not be doing that?
Which are hollow resonance chambers.
Right.
So, I mean, we're perfectly made for what we have.
Absolutely. So, by using the voice, we can shift as soon as we're ready, and we don't have to, buy into anything external to ourselves. And we also have to remember, it's like, this is a global experiment, or, it's a human experiment. It's like, we came from love, but we forgot. So we are now in that, place of remembering, putting the members back, putting the pieces back, putting the connection back, to unify, to stay in that place of, I'm loved, I'm connected, I'm supported, I receive everything I need. So it's, it's all about using sound, like, so the tuning forks, these can vibrate us back to a place. And very important right now, to address earthing frequencies. You mentioned the Schumann, the geomagnetic. These are so important because technology is affecting that connection. And you've only got to look at people walking down the street. Everyone's on their phone, or they're on their computer.
So disconnected.
Even on
and the saddest part about it is, and I think that this is where the power of love really comes in, and why what you and I are doing and the message that we're trying to send is so important, is that when people get stressed out, they tend to separate themselves and they keep themselves protected in their little bubble. And I can understand that. A lot of people would want to do that. But when you can start to really feel love and express love, there have been studies done where they take a significant amount of people. And these people, or there's an experiment where I think it was Greg Braden that was involved in it, but a gentleman felt what it would be like for rain to come in an arid area, and it rained. He didn't think about it. He didn't wish it. He didn't see white light over his head. He did none of those things. He felt the ecstatic joy of what rain would bring to that particular region, and it rained. And when people get together and they elevate their hearts together, we can do some pretty amazing things. We just all have to be on the same page.
Yeah, you know, it's feeling it to heal it, you know, and so by really embodying it, we then manifest it, you know. So it, and you know, the Heart Math Institute done amazing research showing that the heart is 100
yes.
stronger than the mind, you know. So why would we direct things with the mind? You know, the mind can help us be a, you know, a starting point, but if we're coming through the heart, that's where the power is. And you know, if fear's present, then it's really hard for the heart to be, you know, in a place of positive vibration, you know.
Right, right. Well, we are coming up on almost the end of our hour. Obviously, we didn't do a full hour because we had some stuff at the beginning, but I could talk to you all day. Well, all day for you, all night for me, because it's night here. But I know you wanted to do some special, either a pineal meditation or something you wanted to share for the end of this. And we really would love and appreciate that. So yes, it is all yours. Take it away.
Okay, great. So wherever you are, whether you're at home, at work, wherever you are sitting right now, or even if you're lying down, I invite you to come into a place where you are aligning your spine. So all of the energy centers through your body are lined up. You can imagine that invisible piece of string in the center of your head pulling you up, and invite you to come into open mouth breathing. So this is opening the throat. You can stretch the jaw out, stretch the tongue, and just bringing in beautiful, fresh energy to your life, to your body, to this moment, to your spirit. And this is a yes to love, a yes to bringing in truth to your life. And as you breathe out, a yes to releasing fear, a yes to releasing stress, worry, all these things which are not true of who you really are. And as you sit here, as you lie here, wherever you are, now I invite you to scan through your body as you're breathing in through the mouth and out through the mouth. Starting to notice where you are holding tension in your body. You might suddenly become aware of your shoulders being tight, or your jaw being tight, or your belly. So just taking a breath. You can even breathe in a beautiful quality there, or maybe I need more relaxation here, so breathing that in to your belly, or more lightness, more spaciousness into your jaw or neck. And as you breathe out, what are you letting go of here? If it's in the shoulders, maybe it's taking on too much. And as you breathe out, starting to see if there's a sound that your body wants to make. And as that sound comes, maybe there's a movement that wants to come with that. Like it's an unraveling of tightness, an unraveling of contraction, of stress, of holding, of contraction. How can you let go? And then asking the body, how can I let go even more so I can bring more flow, more space, more ease into this place? Breathing in and letting go. Breathing in and letting go. Remembering to sound, to move, to give space. And another nice deep breath in. And letting go. Relaxing the throat, jaw. Feeling your body start to soften, starting to open more. And now, as you sit here, more expanded, perhaps more connected, more full of light, I want you to focus on your pineal, on your third eye, and to imagine that this is running all the way to the back, because it is, into the occiput. This is actually a gland right in the center of the head, but it is affecting the front energy center, and the energy center has a back to it, just like the other energy centers. So as you tune in on this, breathing into it, feel into that space in the center of your head. And as you tune in on it, you might feel a bit of pain, because body might be responding to a bit of calcification here, because you're suddenly bringing your awareness to how this actually really feels in your body. Or you may feel a bit of heaviness here. What are you noticing here? Using the out breath to continue to release. And what we're going to do now is we're going to choose a sound, and we're also going to choose a color. So I want you to imagine that your body is sitting or standing or lying, wherever you are, in a portal of light. And this portal of light is rising up above you and running all the way down through your body. And I want you to ask for a color. You may choose beautiful, divine light, which is white, which has such a brilliant cosmic universal life force to it. Breathing all of that in. Or it may be an amazing violet flame, which is burning, transmuting all that which is not truth, all that which is not who you are. Tapping into divine solar self as you tune in with those vibrations, those colors of the sun at sunset, which burns through. Or it may be all the colors of the rainbow. So tapping into the spectrum of the rainbow light body, full spectrum, or any other color you feel inspired in this moment, and let it change in every moment whenever you do this. If you're watching this on replay, you may replay it again, different color. So breathing this color, feeling this portal, even if you're not particularly visual, just sensing, choosing, intending that this portal is present with you. And seeing this portal as wide as your body. So it's not just coming through the pineal, your third eye, it's actually as wide as your body. And even make it as wide as your energy field, which is 28, 27 and a half feet in front of you, 27 feet behind you, 55 feet diameter, according to some research. So bringing this light, using the breath, bringing that light all the way through, into the pineal, using that breath to really choose it, claim it, invite it, bringing it as a prayer to this place, and asking this light with the intention of the breath, with the intention of the color, with the intention of the sound that we are going to make, to clear, to open, to activate this part of your body. And what we're going to do is we're going to choose a very low tone. So I want you to find a tone, whatever tone you can make, and we're going to hum. So we're going to hum by keeping this frequency inside our body. Yeah, so we can activate inside our body. So finding a tone. So whatever the lowest note you can make, and if there's men watching, it will be far lower than the ladies. So finding that tone, the lowest note you can make, visualizing the color, and when you're ready, setting your intention, breath, sound, movement. What is your intention? What is the color? And the sound is humming. So with the sound and the intention, sound plus intention creates healing. So nice deep breath in and humming, seeing the color vibrating into the center of your head. Let's go. Another nice deep breath in through the mouth. And as you're doing this, relaxing every part of your body. So the flow is as fluid as it can be through your body. And a nice deep breath in. And humming, and the color, and your intention. And now we're going to activate through the heart. So now smiling into the sound, sending all of your love with the sound, with the color, with your intention. Nice deep breath in. Smiling into the sound. Keeping the body relaxed. Another deep breath in. Sending your love, smiling with the sound. Next breath in, starting to make a little bit of movement with that. It may be a subtle movement. It may be deeper movement with the arms or the legs. Just directing the movement with the body, not with the mind. Just inviting the body. Body, how do you want to move in this moment? Nice deep breath in. With the sound, with the color, with the love and the movement. Another deep breath in. Sound, color, breath, movement. And once more, bringing that love into your pineal, bringing this color. And now we're going to send it out through the body as we vibrate. Breathing in. Connection, love, truth. Sounding into the pineal. And on the next breath, we are going to hum and send this through our entire body, sending this vibration. By now, you should be feeling a little bit shifted, hopefully. Nice deep breath in and inviting your body just to send it all the way through. Where do you want to go first? Nice deep breath in. Smiling into the sound. Sending the light. Saying I love you to your body. This is the truth of who I am. And now amplifying this sound, this love, this vibration, this color, 100 times, from 1 all the way to 100, even stronger, all the way through your body. Nice deep breath in. And last time, all the way out from your heart, from your pineal, from your body, out through your energy field, sending this color, sending this light, this love, this truth. Nice deep breath in. Love and light is the truth of who I am. And another deep breath coming into silence, just feeling your body. If you haven't already got your feet on the floor, putting your feet on the floor, just feeling into this moment. How do you feel? Perhaps you feel more space, more lightness, more connection with yourself, more alignment, more connection with the divine. We have the voice available to us as a tool anytime we need. Anytime. We have a choice, fear or love. Let us all choose love in these challenging times so that we can remember who we are and not give power to anything else.
Thank you so very much for being here tonight. I
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So I'm going to have you give your website, Eeshi-Ra, one more time and some resources people might be interested to take advantage of, including some of your courses. But I will post it anyway. I just wanted you to give it one more time at the end.
Thank you so much, Sandra, for the opportunity. I so appreciate you, and I so love what you are also bringing to this world, bringing so many gifts and tools that people can help themselves with. We so need everything, you know, possible to help us shift into a new way of being.
We do, and I rebranded just recently to Amplified Health because it just, no pun intended, it resonated with what I was doing. So
yeah.
So you're about the third interview in the series under the new brand, and it's been wonderful to have you. So many blessings to you. Thank you so much. And everybody, have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time.
And my website is eeshiraheart.net. And please connect with me through the website on the contact page if you'd like to find out more. I have a sign up form also if you're interested in sessions. I can do some sessions through Skype, and I have many different programs if you are looking to either learn tuning forks, and I am also available for personal mentoring. Sound is such a beautiful catalyst for us at this time, and I hope you feel inspired to bring it into your life and to touch the lives of others that you also know.